That is where the state must come in. You see, it can't happen overnight. There must be a deliberate state policy to bring about the social condition that can make Nigeria attain an appreciable level of social cohesion, national integration, for the purpose of national unity, which can now translate into national development and national security. It is a function of the state. It must start by leadership by example. It must start by mass national orientation through education, quality education. Look, when I was growing up, for instance, I grew up in an area where in my home state, I'm from Kogi State, I had teachers that were drawn from all over the country. You will be surprised to know that I grew up, it was much later that I began to have ethnic consciousness. Because as at the time I was growing up, there was nothing ethnic about my orientation, absolutely not. In the compound where I live, people from all walks of life lived there. So the language we spoke in my community was, to me, just a language that everybody was speaking. Because the language was spoken by a Chikodi, it was spoken by a Washiu, it was spoken by a Yemi. Everybody was speaking the same language. Nobody was told that one was either a settler and that didn't occur. My principal, for example, secondary school, St. Augustine College, was an Igbo man, Mr. Kenazo. He's late now. So government made sure that deliberately they created a mini Nigeria out of all the communities in Nigeria. That has been reversed over time. So people that grow up, you go to primary school, everybody in primary school are from the same community, the same ethnic group as you. In fact, they most use the native language to now even mark registers in school. You go to even further institutions, people are now struggling to have indiges as vice chancellors of universities, rectors of polytechnics, provosts of college of education. Government has now caved in, because of identity politics anyway, government has caved into the process of ethnicity and religion over time. So it has destroyed social cohesion. So government needs to take back its responsibility as a state to make sure that it ensures this, using every tool available to it. It's not for nothing we have an information and culture ministry, which under the National Orientation Agency, the Nigerian Television Authority, and all other agencies under it. These are supposed to be agencies for national reorientation, where in Nigeria is shown why, if you're from the south, you are one and the same with the person from the north. Why, if you're a Muslim, you are one and the same with the person that is a Christian. Why your identity should be Nigerian and not your ethnicity or your religion. It is the function of the state. Any country you see that has attained this, the country deployed the institution of the state to ensure social cohesion. Be it in France, be it in the UK, be it in Germany, be it in the United States of America. Anywhere you see social cohesion enough to have racial harmony, it will because the state itself deployed all the tools. It starts from the educational level. We are in primary school already, you are detribalized, you are de-racialized. In fact, America is a good example, America and Britain. You saw a deliberate effort in the 70s and 80s to overcome racism in these two countries. Every tool was deployed, including the state funding sitcoms that kind of dramatizes the excesses, the folly of racism. So when you now watch yourself, and you now see a reflection of this thing you do in real life is actually stupidity, it's folly, in a very light mood, you began to change your orientation. It is not for nothing, for example, that a movie came out in the United States of America that portrayed a black man as a heroic American president. And a few later, the Americans went out to vote for a black man as president. It had an effect. Already people have been psychologically prepared to know that you can have a black man in the White House and he can save America. Psychologically. And so when the next time a black man appeared on the scene, why not? So government did these things deliberately, knowing that it is important to have social cohesion for the purpose of national unity. You see, a country can be like a household that is not a family if it is not a nation that is united. And for you to have prosperity in any family setup, a household will be a family indeed. Where all hands are on deck to work for the collective interest of all members of that household. But if it's just a household that is not a family, there's no bond, there's nothing that is in common. Even if they are children of the same parents, it will be strife, it will be war, poverty, and sudden death, right? That is the fate of Nigeria. And so all effort must move towards that collective agenda now to resolve all of these internal contradictions. But the state has a very big role to play. I say this because, in fact, in some instances, the state itself has been used as a divisive tool among the Nigerian people in order to have political power in a very multi-religious and multicultural society by our politicians.